Hey everyone, so my name is Leon, and today I decided to do a Big Brother All-Star Champions for Contenders um, season based cast. So we're gonna have 8 winners and 8 non-winners, the best non-winners to play the game Big Brother. We're gonna have 8 men, 8 women. So I'm just gonna go over the winners first, and then I'm gonna go over the non-winners after. So with that being said, let's get right to it. So I also mentioned the honorable mentions last because there's a few honorable mentions I decided to put on here, and a lot of honorable mentions because of the players that were already on the cast or players that I decided even though they're good players that they didn't fit into the cast for me. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. So start with winners. So the first winner I decided to put on here is Jordan Lloyd from Big Brother 11. She's a great, good social player, somebody that would bring something different to the cast that is not really on here in terms of the type of player she is. Someone that relies singly on a social game, so I put her on here. And there's another reason I put her on here, which I'll mention later. Second winner I decided to put on here is Rachel Riley, someone who's a very aggressive player, but someone who is a super fan of the game, someone who loves playing the game, someone who's also good on TV, will get into fights with people, someone who's a very aggressive player, is not afraid to take out the big threats, someone who's going to be a good fit to this type of All-Star cat season. Next one I decided to put on here is Casey from Big Brother 20, a very good physical competitor, also good socially, so she has to be on here. Another winner I decided to put on here is kind of a stretch. She's from Big Brother Over the Top, so her name is Morgan. So the reason why I decided to put her on here is because I think from the it's either her or Lisa, and I decided to put her on here because I was like maybe she'll be a better fit to what I want to see in this cast, and she's more of a modern player, you know what I mean? So I decided why not put her on here to see what she gives me, from this cast, and see what she can give in this cast. So why not put her on here? Next person I decided to put on here from winners is Dan Giesland, one of my favorite players of all time. Someone who is very good socially, very good strategically, can win some challenges, can win the key chase of Power Beetle to, shake things up. Very good all around player, can play from the bottom, from the top, can play all different facets of the game. Best player of all time, in my opinion, has to be on here. Next player this I put on here is Derek from Big Brother 16. Kind of similar to Dan, can play all facets of the game well, can win the competitions, HOAs, and Power Beetle. Also, good enough socially to get people on the side. And strategically, I think one of the best strategical thinkers of the game I've ever seen, with knowing who to target at the right times. So it has to put on here. Next winner I put on is Josh Martinez. I think he's a different enough player to where it will be make this cast a little bit more interesting. Somebody who's kind of like Rachel, again, to fights, very aggressive player, knows how to target the right players at the right time. We'll see if he can win this one. I don't think he can win this type of season, but something that will bring something different to this type of cast. Last one I decided to put on here, it was either between this person or Hayden, but I decided to go with this person. So I go with Xavier. Somebody who's very good socially, strategically, is good enough to get the right amount of people on his side and can, win the competition when necessary. If you watch Double Bitch and Vito, Big Brother 23, the first one where they sent out, I think, Alyssa and Claire, he was able to finish that Beetle puzzle like nothing. So gotta have him on his cast. Very good all-around player when he needs to be. Now let's talk about the non-winners. So the first non-winner I decided to put on here is Brendan, who's Rachel's husband for Big Brother 12 and 13. I think had to put him on here with Rachel to make this cast a little bit more interesting. Wanted to, put them together. They're pretty good as like a duo, and they're much of a force to be reckoned with together. So had to make them on this cast together. So I chose Brendan. Then Jeff as another non-winner I put on here. Pretty solid player, kind of similar with Rachel. I decided to put on here to pair him up with Jordan. And no, not everybody's gonna have a pair in this season. It's just that for certain casts, some people I cast on here, I decided to put someone that was close to kind of make the cast more dynamic, interesting. So Brendan and Jeff was on here for that reason. Another non-winner I put on here is Tyler Crispin from Big Brother 20. Someone who's very good socially, strategically, one of the best physically can win the comps he needs, and he's won a lot of comps in the season. And for both of the games he played, he went pretty far. So pretty good players on right. Next person I decided to put on here is Paul, someone who's very good at the triple threat. He can win the competitions, very good socially, very underrated strategically. Big Brother 19 was a masterpiece, so gotta put them on here. Next person I decided to put on here from non-winners is Daniel Reyes, somebody who's obviously one of the best players to never win. She had a different jury format, she would have won the game, but unfortunately it wasn't in the cards. But maybe she'll get a win, come back, and play her heart out. So we'll see. Next person I decided to put on here is Vanessa Russo, one of the best strategic thinkers to never have won the game. If she just won the final HH, she beats Steve, and that's it. She wins the game, it's over. She'll get really far into the. I think she'll be one of the best winners of all time, to be honest. If not top 5, at least like probably top 3, possibly. So I think she has to be on here. Next person I decided to put on here is Tiffany from Big Brother 23. The best player of the season. Unfortunately, she was playing not in her own best interest, so she couldn't win. But she was able to put the strategy for her lines. But unfortunately, because of the type of player she was, she had to be the first one out. So she has to be on here. So last person I decided to put on here is Helen from Big Brother 15. Someone who's very good, underrated strategically, someone who can win a comp when she needs to, and someone who's the main person inside destroying the movie company. Once she found out about alliance, she took out more than half the members up there, and the only people that she didn't took out from the movie company were people that were already either aligned with her allies or somebody who was good enough socially to lower their threat level. So Helen, God give her credit. I think one of the big reasons why Andy won a season is because of Helen's influence strategically, and unfortunately she went out, in the jury stage. But you gotta give her credit from her strategical insight. So yeah, that's my championships versus contenders cast. So yeah, honorable mentions once again. Honorable mentions I decided to put on here is Angela from Big Brother 20, Hayden from Big Brother 12, Janelle from Big Brother 6, 7, 14, and 22, Brittany Haynes from Big Brother 12 and 14, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And the reason why the honorable mentions list was pretty short because I wanted to particularly choose players that had links to some of the players that I decided to choose in the cast. So, like for example, with Angela's case, I'll put her on here as a contender to play next to Casey Tyler. For someone like a Hayden, I want to put him in the cast next to Brandon Rachel. See that dynamic. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my cast for the championships but contenders. More videos coming soon. Adios.